Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode with me, Shashank Udupa. And in today's episode, all of you guys have been asking the question, Shashank, gold or silver? When do we buy? How do we buy? And even do we buy? So let me explain this in a very simple logic. And let me tell you what is actually happening with gold, silver. And maybe you can even look at other stuff like copper. I don't know. Okay, let's go to the episode very quickly before wasting time. First, let's take gold. Now, what's happening with gold is a lot of people are telling you that, because there is so much uncertainty in the world, gold is going up, this problem, that problem, wars are happening, and that is why gold is going up. Let me show you the chart of gold. As you can see here, gold is on an absolute mental rally. This is the daily chart of gold. The last time gold broke 200-day moving average was in 2023 October, and then it has just been going up constantly after that, and it has given a massive return in the last few years, right? If I just look at it from 2024 start itself, it has gone up very, very, very aggressively. From here, it is now up 95%. And this is gold we're talking about. Okay. But what is happening? Why is this going up? Now, because all of you guys are saying that, okay, this is a safe haven asset, wars are going on, this is why it is, some central banks are buying, and that is why it's going up. The answer is actually all correct. But the real reason is not this. The real reason is a shift in the economic power in the world. That is why gold is going up. And a lot of people who are smart enough are understanding this concept. Now, I'll tell you why this is the case, and you will get a very clear understanding for gold as well once I complete my statement, right? Now, if you look at the East and the West, that it was always in harmony and global trade was at peaceful zones, right? Yes, wars were happening here and there, but global trade was never affected. During the Biden rule in US, when the NATO tried to put arms and nuclear warheads in Ukraine, Russia opposed it, and there was a war on that on both sides, right? I will not blame either side because that's not my job to sit and talk about war and politics. But this happened. That's when the small spike of gold came in, because whenever some things like this happen, the money that gets pulled out from Ukraine and Russia, which is the investments from there, will either go into other markets or go into safe haven assets. So that is the first thing. But the real kicker came when Donald Trump came into picture, and he basically started disrupting the global trade war. And if you look at Donald Trump and if you look at US, they basically sell the world with US dollars, right? And we all trade in US dollars. And whenever US dollar becomes more strong, the emerging markets like India, Southeast Asia countries, they do a very bad job, because I have to print more INR to get the same amount of foreign reserves. And this was one of the biggest problems that was happening for a long period of time. And whenever someone said, we will move away from the USD, they used to either do a war or threaten sanctions and use all the other powers, Europe and all of that, to cumulatively come and attack you. This was what was happening before. Now, with this whole Russia-Ukraine was part one, Donald Trump imposing sanctions and tariffs on India and China became part two. Basically, he took an entire war with the East. And that is when East got irritated and said, boss, if you can do this now, US can do this again. And, we have to be very careful going forward. In fact, India too, most amount of our foreign reserves are in USD. In fact, if USD becomes bad, India actually suffers from it. And that is exactly what is happening right now. If I show you my global watch list that I keep looking at, I look at the dollar index, and the dollar index has actually fallen down by 10%. Dollars actually weakened by 10%. Euros become much stronger. Dollars actually weakened by 10%. And this is something that I'm looking at. Even the oil futures and all have gone down. So the Saudi countries are not doing great. And obviously US is not doing great. And that is why you see both US and Saudi countries are attacking India and Southeast Asian countries by saying, you have to use USD. You have to take oil from either US. Don't take oil from Russia. Because if you take oil from Russia, the Saudi countries lose or US loses. Then the US has also had a fight with the Saudi countries because of the tensions via Israel. So a lot of stupidity has happened, put it that way, in the market. But the main crux of all this was the USD. Right? USD was this overinflated asset that US kept printing and distributing it to all of us. And that was the biggest problem they actually created on day one. And this problem has now resulted in many people not believing in the USD and moving to gold. Now, India has started buying gold. China is buying record amounts of gold. Russia has started buying gold. All of this is not to invest in a safe haven asset. This is to reset the world order and the world economy if need be. Tomorrow, I don't know if you know this already, but China is now doing a lot of transactions with other countries in Chinese yuan. They are investing and doing all trade in yuan. In fact, recently India was also asked to trade in Chinese yuan and not in USD. So if I remove my asset away from USD and I'm investing in gold, I can reset the world order like this, and that is why gold is going up. Now you'll ask the question, Shashank, gold has gone up so much, it's gone up 100%. Will it go up even more? Yes, the answer is absolutely yes, it will go up more. Now, if I look at what Goldman Sachs and all the other people have been saying, they are actually saying gold will go to 4,600 and might even breach 5,000 USD per ounce, right? And this is the problem that we're looking at with gold, that even though it has gone up 98% in the last 1 year, I still believe that it can go up even more. And this is only because India has now started buying, Poland has started buying, China has started buying. And that is why I said gold prices has nothing to do with this war is going on nonsense, right? It has everything to do with the reset of financial system. And the whole problem that will happen with this, when that reset happens, it's going to be a massive downturn or a recession on the global economy. Don't know when that will happen, but it will eventually happen. But either which way, these guys are buying gold, and that is why our gold prices are going up. And also, if you ask me, I would never stop buying gold. I've been buying gold since 2017. I have never stopped till date buying gold. Even at 2017, it was high. 19, it was high. 2022, it was high. 2023, it was at all-time high. 2024, it's at all-time high. I kept buying gold. Now, gold can be bought in two forms. I have enough gold in gold Bs and ETFs, and I'll show you which one to buy as well. And I have gold in physical form also. So both are completely okay. Now, coming to silver. Silver recently broke its range and it has now started trending towards the upward zone, again for two reasons. One, because central banks are buying gold, some of them are also buying silver as an alternate hedge. Number one. Number two, silver has now become one of the most key components in EV and solar. Right. So in renewable energy tech and in EV tech, silver has now become very important. And if I look at the future of this, the price of silver has gone up quite aggressively only because of this. And it's not just right now. The price of silver has been going up since 2020. Since COVID, it went up, fell down, again started going up. And silver is, usually a non-volatile, non-moving asset much. It's pretty much the same. But if you give me a choice between silver and buy gold or silver, I would still go with gold, because gold is like the major guy, right? Silver and all is still okay. I would majorly go with gold itself, because I feel gold is like the bigger gamer over here. Now coming to the third asset, which I feel, again, obviously we can't buy all of this very easily, but the third asset is copper, and you see how copper is going up. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about copper, how copper is going up. And this is actually doing a very good rally right now. Now, copper again is a very important tool used in multiple different industries, and the price of copper, as you can see, has only been rising over a long period of time. Now, here, obviously, if you have MCX, you can buy copper futures, but I would not recommend that. But there are a lot of companies that trade in copper in India as well. So that is something you can take an advantage of. Now, coming to how do we buy this? So for silver, for all the people who looked at silver, who's now broken its all-time high, you can go with silver ETFs, which are the cheapest way to hold silver. So there is Nippon India Silver ETF that you can look at, which is one of the cheapest ways to take up silver. But again, if you ask me, I would strongly prefer just going with gold and not silver, mainly because gold will always go up more than silver. Yes, a lot of you guys are saying, Shashank, gold is overpriced, gold is overvalued, it's going up so much. I don't care, because I feel gold is going to go up much more. And if you look at this is the ETF that is there, which takes 0.8 expense ratio, which is quite high, sadly. But this is the Nippon India ETF Gold Bees. And this is what even I currently hold. I've been buying for a very long period of time. But I feel gold is something that is very, very, very interesting and should be there as a part of everyone's portfolio. But again, if you ask me from a long-term standpoint, I would just stick with gold. I would not go with silver and copper. You want to play small short-term spike volatility, you can go with these two. But if you want to play pure long-term compounding game, gold would be the best. Silver, I don't know, if you want, you can keep it. If you don't want, leave it. But gold, even though it has gone up now, I think another 10-20% is on the cards. And if the global reset happens, then gold will just fly, because everyone will want to accumulate gold, and there will be a lot of shock buying happening from European countries, because European countries are still in this Delulu land that USD is great and they will never let anything happen. But even before that financial reset happens, the US will not let everything go smoothly. They will come up to a point where they will be like wartime. So they have so much defense, they've spent so much money, they will start fighting with people who are going away from the USD. So a lot of nonsense can happen unless we get the old government back in US and they are very peaceful. But that is basically what it is. So for all the people who thought Trump was great for India, definitely it is not great for India, not great for the world, because he's doing what is required for US. And I don't even blame him, because previous governments have got US to such a point that it has really got screwed up with their entire debt bubble, right? So he has to find some way to protect their own country, and that is what he's doing. It is a very aggressive approach. There are better ways to do this, put investments, have a win-win situation. But he tried to do a situation where I win, you lose, which doesn't work basically, right? But either which way, gold, bullish, silver, copper, okayish. But I would strongly have accumulate some kind of gold. At least 5 to 10% of your portfolio should be in gold. Ideally 5% is the best, but if you can go up to 10%, nothing like it. Okay, awesome. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. And if you like this episode, click on that like button, share this with your friends, and also click on that subscribe button, which is that red button, which will help me grow the channel so I can get more amazing guests for you guys in the podcast. And if you've not seen some beautiful podcasts that we have, please go check it out.